this machine over from laminating to foiling. So I'm going to cut the web of the lamination, take off of my 3mm gloss that we're running. So I'm just going to cut this off before we leave the web on here. We'll feed that through the machine. And when you get your foil kit, normally there will be a couple of end caps. So put the end caps on the foil here. So I'm going to borrow, though, because I don't see them here, borrow these couple of end caps. And there is no RFID in the end caps, so you don't have to worry about that like you do with the foil, to make sure that the black matches the black and the white matches the white. So I'm going to put them on correctly with black there, white there. I'm going to hand this to my assistant to take out of the way. That here. And close this lid and then feed the foil, feed the film out of the machine. Because the machine went in standby, it won't feed the foil. So we're going to have to let that heat up. Heating up, we can now change the film. I was looking at the two-sided film we're running in here was a 13-inch wide film, and our foil, I believe, is 12.5 inch. Or maybe even 12, but I'm going to try 12.5.
Yep, I got it.
Bring it to the 12.5. Enter. So now the mandrels are closed up, so it's actually a 12 inch. So that's okay. We'll go 12. So now the holders for the film have moved into 12 inch. Try the film. Yep, that's a good fit. So we will be ready to thread the film once the rollers heat up, so that I can feed through the machine. Okay, so our rollers are up to temperature now, so that I can feed the old film out of the machine. This was our 3mm film that we were doing two-sided encapsulation, or actually in this case, flush cutting. 2 8.5/11s from a 12/18, 3mm two sides, making our menus. Now we're switching over to foil, so I'm going to take the old lamination out of the machine. Garbage, and then go to our foil. Now this part can be a little tricky because we're going to feed the foil through the machine. I'll take this piece of handy masking tape, put that right there for later. That's a fileta tape. We're going to use that fileta. And then put this over my baler, just like I was feeding my film, and you want the flat side, because this is the shiny side, which is going to be on the top of your sheet. This is the side that's going to touch the toner and adhere to the toner and do your foil. So bring it to the rollers, okay, and I've tried this a couple ways with putting a leader sheet in here or not, to try to catch it as it comes through, to put it back onto the rewinder here. So I'm going to try this one without. So now that my film is laying on the rollers, flat side up, which is going to be the side that's going to stick to my toner, feed that through my first set of rollers. Okay, I am going to pull this foil up so that I can watch my foil. If you want to come on this other side, Julia, you can see what's going on here. And hopefully, it's my anti-curl that's off. Yeah, that's all good. And then I'm going to feed that forward some more, making sure that my foil continues to go through the machine. This is where, when I do feed it through with a leader sheet, has a little more rigidity. Just going to give, that would give me a little more trouble when I bring it up down. Okay, so now that I've put through this first set of rollers, I can put my roll back in and watch my film come through, help it out a little bit. Okay, same thing. Now when I bring it through this set of rollers, this evens it out by putting the foil through this set of rollers, and I'm going to come up and meet my my take up. So I'll go under this set of rollers, and this is where, you know what, we got a little lucky here, because there was a little bit of sticky adhesive still on this front of the foil from our tape. It stuck to the roller, and it naturally helped guide the foil up. Right, so that might be a trick to pass on to the ages. Now normally on our take up here, I would put a used core from a old roll of foil or lamination, put it on here so that this would rewind on that core. And then you would just, when you're done with your foil, strip the foil from the core, reuse the core. But since I don't have a core handy right now, I'm just going to stick that onto the shaft and I'm going to be fine with that. So just use that tape again and make sure that when I rewind this, that this is going in the right direction, and even it out a little bit. Right, so you see what happens is happening here. Foil is coming off of the top roller, going onto the heat rollers. The substrate's going to come through here, which is going to be this sheet with black toner on it, solid black. Whatever it sees for toner, whether it's black or various colors, is going to be what's going to transfer. Black works best, but if I had CMYK on here, we would get a variety of transfer. Black is going to be our best transfer. And there's other troubleshooting things that we can get into when we run this. If we're getting voids, we need more heat, more pressure, less heat, faster, slower, checking to see if it's pulling the toner or not sticking to the toner. So there's different diagnostics that we can do once we get up and running. So getting that ready, now I can close the feeder, close the lid. As far as pressure's in here, my anti-curl is still on 0 or off, because this is only for when I'm doing one side laminating, not two side laminating like we were just doing, and not foiling like we're doing now. However, our pressure here is on very minimal. It's on versus off, but we're going to change our roller pressure to about 3 for starters, because foil likes lots of pressure. And we're going to take our old job out where we were doing laminating two sides and put our foil job in, which is 1218. The job we're going to do here is foil. We're going to foil these sheets and don't do any finishing is what we're going to do to start. So just basically we're just going to pass each sheet through and foil it. And so to program that, I want to take a look over here at the touchscreen. We'll go into memory. And then once it says enter parameter set, this is how we program the machine, so we can press enter. So do we want to laminate, lamy, pouch, or foil? We're going to choose foil. For foil, our top roller temperature, a good place to start is 130 degrees Celsius. So enter that. 80, even though we don't have film on the bottom, we want that roller to heat the bottom of the sheet so that the sheet is nice and warm and accepting and helping to melt the toner, even from the bottom of the sheet. So we're going to run the bottom roller at 80 and our top roller, which is really doing all the work, at 130. So we enter those settings. We set the sheet size, which is a 12 by 18. And then now it's heating. So it's going to take a few minutes for the top roller to come to 130 degrees Celsius. So we've got the sheet feeding through, going through the foil. We're just running one sheet for now, see how it looks. Check for adhesion. And I think what I needed to do there was run two sheets, so because it keeps one sheet in the machine intentionally. Okay, so we're going to have a little mixed result here. Let's see where we're at. It's our first sheet.